Today, I'm making a way better version of my game, Propeller Pete. Not only am I improving Pete, but I'm adding a whole new map, new mechanics, an actual story, and just overall making the game way different and so much better. I also have an absolutely crazy surprise that I'm going to be adding, so make sure to watch until the end. But first, I have to take you back in time to 9 months ago. It's May of 2024, and Stopshot and I had just released a horror game called Propeller Pete. Propeller Pete is a game where you explore an abandoned airport, all while a giant airplane with legs and wings for arms chases you while you try and put baggage onto the matching carousels. This game was quickly followed up by a few more chapters that Stopshot made, like Chapter 2, which featured Subway Bob, Chapter 3 with Billy the Boat, and most recently Chapter 4, which introduced Carl the Car. And honestly, that's just kind of where the Propeller Pete series ended. I kind of left Propeller Pete to him, but neither of us really had any ideas for what was going to happen next. But of course, everyone kept asking for Chapter 5. But instead of just making Chapter 5, we both had an idea that would change Propeller Pete forever. But before I get into that, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. Recently, I've been hearing all sorts of bad things about getting hacked, stolen passwords, bank accounts drained, and private data leaked for the world to see. Maybe it's a hacker looking on public Wi-Fi, or your ISP selling your browsing history, or maybe something worse. But that's where Surfshark VPN comes in. Public Wi-Fi connections are crawling with unsecured networks, making it easy for cybercriminals to steal your data. One wrong move and suddenly your passwords are left exposed. But with Surfshark's encrypted connection, you stay invisible. Ain't that right, Pete? But don't worry, unlike Pete, Surfshark has your back. Not only does it encrypt all your online activity, keeping your data safe from prying eyes, but it also lets you access over 3,200 servers in 100 different countries. But it doesn't stop there. Surfshark isn't just a VPN, it also includes Alert, which is a tool that notifies you the moment your email, ID, credit card, or any other personal data gets leaked. And with just one account, you can use it on an unlimited number of devices. Plus, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's honestly no risk. And if you want me to hook you up, I got you. Just visit surfshark.com/Goose Studios to get 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Again, that's surfshark.com/Goose Studios, or scan the QR code on the screen now. And stay safe online, because you never know who's watching. Alright, now before I tell you the new plan for Propeller Pete, I need to explain my love-hate relationship with chaptered Mascot horror games. Chaptered games are both a lot easier for me to make and a lot easier for me to make videos about, but honestly, it makes the actual quality of the game suffer big time. I mean, Minced honestly doesn't even make that much sense anymore because I kind of lost the plot in making 1,000,001 different chapters of it. That's kind of why for Propeller Pete, I want things to be a little different. So now that that's out of the way, it's time I tell you the idea I've had for the new game. I decided that if I want to make Propeller Pete truly next level, I would need to remake the entire game from the ground up. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? This new game would have a way longer runtime, and instead of being a small, short game, it would actually be something that I can flesh out and make a lot more content for. But that would also mean making an entire new story for the game. So obviously, it was time for me to open up a blank document and start brainstorming. Alright, how can I make Propeller Pete better? What does a good horror game even look like? Why does Propeller Pete not have any propeller? All questions will be answered, I promise. To make an actual story though, what I needed to do was build off the original game. In OG Propeller Pete, you explore the abandoned airport run by Kiwi Airlines. So for the new game, I decided to take the whole Kiwi Airlines thing and just run with that. I made up a fake town name and a fake airport name, then made some lore surrounding the airport and Kiwi Airlines. Since the original Propeller Pete doesn't really explain what he is or why he's there, I'm definitely going to have to add that into the game as well. I'll probably do a separate video in the future to explain more about the story of the game, because I actually want it to make sense and have a generally cohesive narrative, but because I don't want to bore you, we can skip to actually making the game. The first thing I had to do was figure out a way to improve the airport. In the first Propeller Pete, we had a pretty big airport, but honestly, it was only big because of the giant terminal that you had to walk each way in to grab the baggage. For this Propeller Pete, I wanted to have a full airport from start to finish with all the traditional airport stuff. Shops, lounges, baggage claims, you name it, I want it there. Because airports have literally 1,000,000 different things to model, I did use this airport pack to help speed things up. But don't worry, it's going to be so much better than the original airport, guys, I promise. Anyways, now that I had solutions for improving both the story and the airport, it was time to focus on maybe the most important part of the game, the merch design. Propeller Pete. I mean, the game is kind of named after him, so it's only logical that we would make him the main focus, right? A lot of people did not like the original Propeller Pete animations. And to be fair, I think we probably stretched the limits of Mixamo by uploading a literal plane with legs. So it was definitely time to hand make some of my own. I threw a few together in Blender and even made an actual Jumpscare animation for once. So instead of the old catch sequence, which looked like this, we have a new one that looks like this. Okay, I'm sure the animations I made aren't the best, but I'll definitely go back and improve them if there's enough support. so write below what your thoughts are. Anyways, besides the animations, Pete still has a long way to go before we can consider him an actual complex character. He still needs some reasoning behind why he is the way he is. I mean, I could just tell you, but that would kind of ruin the surprise of the game. So you're just gonna have to wait for it to release. All I will say though is that Propeller Pete is not just the sentient aircraft you think he is, because he's connected to something much bigger. With that being said, Pete also needs some better introduction. So to make that, I'm planning on introducing his character via different ads that Kiwi Airlines in the airport will show to the player. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but leave some sort of ideas below and maybe I'll add them to the game. I'll definitely expand on Pete's character coming up in a future vid, but for now, I have to at least plan a better puzzle for the game. In the original Propeller Pete, you have to run around the airport and find baggage to put on the carousels, but in the new Propeller Pete, I wanted to add a ton more puzzles than just that. Without spoiling all of the planned gameplay, the first puzzle involves some generators, wiring, gates, and levers, so do with that what you will. I actually cannot wait to release this game. I've been working on it a bit already, but it definitely still has a long way to go before I do a full video on it. Anyways, that's about it from me. If you enjoyed, make sure to go subscribe and definitely go wishlist Propeller Pete on Steam. See ya.